Hello, and thank you very much for stopping by today. I've got a really simple project. I'm going to kind of call it Way Back Wednesday. I discovered paper crafting just over a year ago, and very quickly after discovering paper crafting, I came across Stampin' Up, and I've not really deviated away from that at all. I've stayed completely loyal to Stampin' Up just because I absolutely adore their products. And I've got two things that I want to show you today, two particular products. There is the Amazing You stamp set. This is part of the Celebration range. And this is, you get this if you spend more than £45. And I also want to show you the Petal Passion designer series paper. A really lovely monochrome set. I love monochrome. So this is one side of the paper. So we've got this lovely kind of brushwork looking pattern. I just think they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Very, very understated, and I think that's what I like about it. That's making my eyes go funny. And we've got some little flowers there, real ditzy flowers. And then the other side of that, again, something to make my eyes go funny. This has been very popular, this design. I've seen this a lot being used in card making. I just think it's lovely. That, I just think is amazing. And I've got lots of ideas of what I'm going to do with this, and I'm going to put some colour in this. So this is a project that's going to come up very soon. And it's going to be a very simple card. And I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to put a splash of colour in it, but really keep it mainly monochrome. So watch this space for that one. More leaves and some flowers. I absolutely adore it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to buy it. So that's the Petal Passion. And the reason I'm doing a bit of a Way Back Wednesday project is that when I first discovered paper crafting, I hadn't really got into stamping, or seemed a little bit messy and not down my street whatsoever. So I acquired an envelope punch board, and the envelope punch board then enabled me to make some 3D projects. And I'm going to show you one today. I'm going to show you something, one of the very first things I ever made, and it was just a little box like that, the domed top. I got this from, so I'm casing this from Sam Hammond, from Pootles, and I just want to show you how I've done that using the Amazing You stamp set, using some ribbon that I also got as a celebration reward, and the Starburst punch. So let me show you how to do it. It's really easy. Anybody can do this, absolutely anybody. So I've taken a piece of the Petal Passion designer series paper, and I've cut it into 4. So I used one of them for that. So I'm going to make another one so I can show you how it's put together. Really, really straightforward. The envelope punch board has some guides on it. It has some measurements on it. It has a rounding punch there. Quite versatile this. I'll show you some other things that you can make with this in some later tutorials. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm looking at this side of the paper, and the first thing I'm going to do is line it up 1.5. Oh, before I do that, I need to take out my scoring tool. So I line it up at 1.5, and I'm going to punch there like that. I'm going to put my scoring tool in here, find the groove, and score all the way down like that. I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to line it up at 3 inches. I'm going to punch it, find the groove, and I'm going to score. I'm going to turn again, back to the 1.5, punch, and score, and then turn a final time, 3 inches, punch, and score. The other thing that I need to do is also put, we've got one punch in each of those sides. We need to put another one in. So we've got just this little guide here. It's called a score guide. And what I do is I line that score guide up with that first line there, and punch. Not going to do anything else. Turn it round. Line it up with the first score line and punch. Do it again. Line it up with that first score line, punch, and one last time line it up there and punch. And so that's what, let me take that away a minute. That's what you're left with. What I want to do though is round these corners off. And I'm just going to put that in there. And there we are, rounds it off. So pointy, now it's round. And then we're left with that. Just put that to one side. And then the next thing I need to do is then fold and burnish these score lines. So I'm going to fold there, and the other side, come onto there. Now to be able to turn it into a box, I just need to take some scissors. So I'm going to take the smaller triangle, not this big triangle, but the small triangle, and I've got a score line there to that first horizontal line and a score line here to that horizontal line, and I'm just going to cut up to that first line and here cut up to that line there, turn it and do exactly the same to this side. Okay, so there's the inside of our paper, that's the outside. I want to put some glue on these four where we created some tabs in order to be able to create the box, and I want to put some glue here. I really want to get some glue on that folded line there along here like that. So I'm going to get, you can use any type of glue, you can use wet glue, double-sided tape. I'm just using this it's a bit like Stampin' Up's snail or fast fuse. I just haven't bought any more because I forgot to put it on the order. So we just go all the way round. Just want to get it on that, right on that score line there. Like that. Now to create the box, this is really easy. Oh, it's stuck to my table. So we've got this flap here, and we're going to bring that score line to meet that cut line there, and this flap will go inside. So that just meets up there as accurately as possible, otherwise the shape of the box changes. That's the great thing about that type of glue, it just sticks straight away. So take that flap, tuck it inside, and bring that cut edge along to the scored edge. And then the same on the other side. Bring the flap in and bring the cut edge to the folded edge. And then one last time, bring that in there like that. So there we have the main shape of our box. And what's going to happen is that there's no score lines here, so this will just fold in. We just want to create that dome, so I'm just pushing that in there. I'm not folding it, I'm not creasing it, I'm just pushing it in there. And then this one is going to come inside there, and then this one comes over. It will start to fight you at first until it gets used to being moulded into that shape. Before I put it all together, chocolate. No point making a box if you can't put anything in it. And what better thing to put in a box than chocolate? So we're just coming up to Valentine's Day now. And I'm just going to, probably could get a lot more chocolate in there. I'm sure we could, but I don't have any more. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. I just didn't want it to look like an obvious Valentine's gift. This could just be a thank you. the sentiment I'm going to put on this is celebrate, so you can say anything you like. So it's trying to fight me, and I'm going to fight back. So we're going to put a shape on there like that. So before I do that, and before I completely fall out with it, we're going to make this bit. So I'm going to get some white card. So I've got a Whisper white card. I've got my sentiment there on my wooden blocks. I'm going to get my Calypso Coral ink, because that's the ribbon that I've got to match. Take my wood block, dab that in the ink, and then I'm just going to stamp that on there, like, oh, I think I might have double stamped. Yeah, that's awful. Let's try again. I kind of hesitated before I put the stamp down. Let's have another go. I thought about it too much. So stamp down. You don't have to worry about it being straight, because when we put the punch on it, that should do it. There we are, that's much better. Get the top on that. I will be using it again in a minute, but I just need to. An open ink is just kind of screaming out at me to stick my hand in it usually. So I get this is my Starburst punch. Love this. Just going to line it up there, and when I'm happy with it, I'll punch it out like that. Oops. So what I found is when you've got something that's just that colour on there, it needs something else. So I've got one of these. I'm going to get my ink. Whoops, oh dear, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Just going to dab that in there, and I'm just going to very gently, just on the tips, just take that colour around there, and it just finishes off the shape. I don't know how it does that, it just does. So just go all the way around, like that. Oh, there we are, look. I knew I would. I went and stuck my hand in the ink. So I just need to clean that up before I now end up with that everywhere on my face, all over my hands, which means it'll end up all over the wall. Right, okay, so there's our celebrate sentiment there. Back to this. Let's have another fight with this. And I need to get my ribbon. So I've got matching ribbon here, just coming to the end of this now. And this was another celebration reward for another £45 that I spent. So we've got that, matches that perfectly. So I'm going to fold it over, and I just want it to go over like that. So just what I'm going to do for now is just get that there like that, and just get a knot in it. And as you put that knot in it, it then starts to hold together. You need to just get it into shape. Like that. And when I did this the first time, it worked first time. Now this is going to just show me up because I'm on camera. Goodness me. Right, there we are. I'm done with fighting with it. I'm just going to put a knot in it now, because I'm not very good at bows. There we are. Just change the shape. There we go. Got there in the end. Okay, so there's my celebrate sentiment. I need to find some mini dimensionals. I've got them here. Just turn that round. And now I'm going to put one on each side of that. So we're nearly done with this. You can make these really quickly. Once you've got the hang of these, they can go together really quickly. Great as wedding favour boxes, or just perfect for teacher gifts. This whole teacher gift at the end of each term has got well, crazy. Didn't do it when my children were small, but now this teacher gift thing is just taken off. So, and I imagine parents spend an enormous amount of money on it. Well, this is something you can do. Get some chocolate, chuck it in a box that you've made, and there we are. You'll probably be able to find a sentiment that's, if you look at this, you've got a sentiment on here, amazing. You are simply amazing. If you really want to tell a teacher that they've gone above and beyond. So there's I haven't done a bow because, to be honest, my bows are rubbish. And I'm just going to trim that there like that. Make sure that you cut it on the diagonal, it stops it from fraying. And there we are, a little gift box, totally handmade. You can have celebrate on there, all sorts of things. It's entirely up to you. There's so many stamp sets that you can choose. A ribbon, and I just think that Calypso Coral totally sets off that monochrome. Just for a splash of colour, you could use any colours on that. Red, maybe red, white and black is probably my favourite combination. So there we are. Just wanted to show just how simple a project can be. You don't have to do anything that's really elaborate. Something nice and simple. I sent these into work once, and people were just so amazed that they had received a handmade gift. They weren't bothered about the chocolates inside it, they just admired the box. And you can achieve that as well. I'll leave the link to all of the products on my blog, plus a link to my blog in the description bar below. If you want to see some future projects, please hit the subscribe button. And I've got some really lovely things coming along with that Petal Passion DSP. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.